The purpose of this video is to go over the review checklist that you'll be working on for the next couple days. So the first thing is the grade check, which you should have already done at this point, and you should have already raised your hand and gotten checked and gotten a stamp right here. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the rest of the checklist. I corrected my homework, and help is okay here. So you should have turned in your homework, and you're going to be receiving it back with questions marked correct. And anything that's not marked correct, you're going to go ahead and fix, because everything that's on the homework is on the test. So once you correct your homework, you can raise your hand and show me, and then I'll give you this stamp. And then once you get the stamp, you can actually recycle the homework, right? But the purpose is to correct it, to learn from your mistakes, and then we actually don't need that paper. Now, these next three, it says I got the 3 review questions on 4.3 correct with no help, 4.6, and 4.7. Those 3 questions are on the back. So here's the 4.3, 3 questions, 4.6, 3 questions, and then 4.7, 3 questions. And notice that for each of these checkboxes, you have to get those 3 correct with no help. Okay? So the idea is that you have to be basically prepared for the test. You have to be able to do these with no help, because you're not going to get any help on the test. Okay? And we'll talk about what you can do if you're not ready to do those with no help. Next thing on the checklist, I got the top 4 multiple choice questions on page 73 right correct. So this was round 7 of Trash Cabal, I believe, but we didn't get to it. But you need to try those top 4. Okay, there's 6 total on the page, like this. It's 6 boxes. Okay, and you need to do these top 4. Then this next one and this one you can't get until Tuesday and Wednesday, because we're going to have a do now tomorrow and a do now on Wednesday to help us review, and so you need to make sure that you do the do now, and then when we go over it, that you actually make corrections on it so that you can learn from it. Okay, so some questions you might have. What's the deal with this checklist? Is it a grade? It's not a grade, but you're going to turn it in before taking your test on Thursday, and this is going to be a chance for me to see how well you've prepared, and then basically how that reflects on your grade. What should you do if you're not ready to do the review problems for a particular topic without help? So for example, you have to check off that you're doing the 3 review questions in 4.7 with no help, but what if you do need help? Well, you have some options. First, you could use the questions on the practice test to practice. So there's plenty of questions on 4.7, for example, that you can get help on. And then once you get help on those and you're ready to try the review, then you can try the review questions. Also, 4.3 and 4.7, there's original video lessons, which you'll be given links to in the next slide. And then for 4.6, I've created a new tutorial also on the next slide. You might be wondering what the format of the test is, how much it's worth. It's 33 multiple choice questions. There actually is no open response. I've made it all multiple choice. It's worth 20 points, so that's more than all the quizzes this semester combined. So far, your quizzes have been worth 15 points, and the test is worth 20, so it's a big deal. You might be wondering why you have to do the multiple choice questions on page 73. It seems a little disconnected. Are those on the test? Yes, they are. The top 4, right? I've assigned you to do the top 4 questions. Those are on the test. You can consider the bottom 2 as challenge problems. Feel free to do those. And then if you're like, okay, well, I'm done with this checklist, but I don't know if I feel totally prepared, what else can you do? Well, you could do problems in the practice test, and then you've been given an answer key to check your answers. Okay? Please ask any questions you have about this checklist or about preparing for the test. But otherwise, let's get started.